Hey, welcome back, Math Gurus. Today's video, we're going to practice solving two-step equations, but we're going to model them using algebra tiles, and it comes directly from TEK 7.11a. All right, so for our first example is 4x plus 6 is equal to 2. So 4, let's refresh our memory on some vocabulary. 4 is your coefficient. X is your variable. X is no longer times in junior high. Now, X isn't the only option. There's 26 letters in the alphabet, so there's actually 26 different options. Plus sign, that's just your operator. And then 6 and 2, those are your constants. All right, now, I want you to keep in mind that 4x plus 6 is equal to 2. So think about a balanced scale in science. And so right now they're both balanced. No matter what's on the left side, it is equal to whatever's on the right side. And that makes more sense the more algebra you get into with variables on both sides and whatnot. So on the left side, I have some algebra tiles. So the rectangle, just to refresh your memory, those are your x's. Red is always negative, so that would be a negative x. And then the green is positive, so that's just x, positive x. And then as I said, red is always negative, so the small red square would be a negative unit. And then the yellow square is a positive unit. So what I want to do is I want to model 4x, and so that's just 4 rectangles. All right, now I need to model 6 positive units. So that would be 6 squares. And on the right side of my equation, it's 2 positives. So that's 2 yellow squares or 2 tiles. Now, what I want to do is use inverse operations, because I want to solve for 1x. I'm not interested in 4x, 1 positive x. So the inverse or the opposite of a positive is a negative. So that means I'm going to add 6 negatives to the left. And then I'm also going to add it to the right, because whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Because keep in mind, this is like a balanced scale. Okay, so you'll have to excuse my drawing. Now remember, 0 pairs, they cancel each other out. There's 1 positive and 1 negative. So I have 1 0 pair, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that was my goal. And on the right side, there's only 2 0 pairs. Now I'm left with 4x equals negative 4. But like I said, I'm not interested in 4x, I'm interested in 1x. So I'm going to draw it again, the best that I can with the room that I have. And these are all positive, okay? These are positive x. So now I'm going to do a 1-to-1 ratio. So there, you get 1x, you get 1, you get 1, and you get 1. And what I mean by that is all you're doing is sharing those negative 4s into the x's you have, which basically is divide. So here, x is equal to negative 1. If I solved it correctly, I should be able to plug it back in and it be right. So 4, I'm going to put in negative 1 in my substitute for x, plus 6 is equal to 2. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Okay, now I'm going to simplify negative 4 plus 6. So think about, you have $6, but you owe someone 4, so you only have 2 left. So 2 equals 2, it does check out. All right, so for the next one, if you feel comfortable, I'd pause the video, try to set it up, at least set it up. All right, so in this case, we have 2x plus 2 on the left and then 10 on the right. Now, 2 positive x, that means that I'm going to need to use two rectangles, and they're green. I apologize about the drawing. And then 2 positive, which would be the 2 little squares. So that's, okay. On the other side, it's 10 positives. I have 8. Now I got 9. I have 10. All right. So we're going to inverse operations. We're doing the opposite. So if I have 2 positive and I'm trying to solve for x, meaning I have to get rid of everything on the same side and isolate my variable, which is x. The opposite of positive is negative. So I'm going to add 2 negatives to the left side. And I chose 2 because I need to get rid of 2. Now, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So the opposite side, I have to add 2 negatives. 2 negatives. Now, keep in mind you're taking out 0 pairs. You won't always have 0 pairs, and that's okay. There's 1 positive, 1 negative, 1 positive, 1 negative. Now I'm left with 2x, and as I said, I'm not interested in what 2x is worth. I'm interested in what the value of 1x is. So on the right side, I'm going to share those units with these x's. So 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit. So all I'm doing is I'm sharing. Like I'm doing a 1-to-1 ratio, which you've been doing that since kindergarten. So I had 8 units to share in between 2 x's. So I don't need to worry about what 2x is. I want to know what 1x is. So in this case, x is equal to 4. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope it helped.